Have we got a doozy of an interview for you this week? Holy cow, is Satya smart and is telling you right to your face what's coming?
Yeah,
Agents are going to do away with apps and user interfaces or UI.
it's a bold vision of the future for sure. In this deep dive, we're unpacking Satya Nadella's conversation with Bill Gurley and Brad Gerstner on the BD2 podcast, where the Microsoft CEO talked about everything from the cloud to AI.
And what really stood out was his take on how AI agents are going to completely revolutionize how we interact with tech. Like he's saying, get ready to ditch those apps, folks.
He is painting a picture where instead of jumping between different apps for everything, we'll have these AI agents working behind the scenes, pulling information and functionality from all sorts of sources.
Yeah.
Seamless and personalized.
Okay, so how does that actually work? He throws around this term AI app server.
Right.
Did that make sense to you?
Well, he's essentially saying that we're going to need a whole new kind of infrastructure to support this agent-driven world. Think of it like the shift from web servers to mobile app servers. But this time it's for AI.
Got it.
This AI app server would act as a central hub, managing all the interactions between our AI agents and the traditional apps we use today.
So it's like a translator between the old world and the new AI-powered world.
Exactly. And Nadella sees Microsoft's Copilot as a prime example of where this is headed. Instead of clicking through menus and buttons, we'll be interacting with Copilot using natural language.
So you'd literally tell your computer what you need, like book me a flight to Rome or draft a proposal for this client, and Copilot just handles it.
That's the idea, and he gave some really compelling examples of how this might play out.
Okay.
Take Excel, for instance.
Yeah.
He's talking about Copilot essentially turning Excel into this super-powered data analyst.
No more formulas and macros. Just tell it what you want to analyze, and boom, you've got insights.
Other than that even. He's describing Copilot generating plans, executing them, and providing real-time financial analysis all within Excel.
Really?
It's Excel on steroids.
Wow. What about other tools we use every day, like CRMs? Is he saying those could become obsolete?
It's a radical thought, right?
Yeah.
But that's what Nadella is suggesting. He sees AI agents handling all the complex business logic that CRMs currently manage, updating databases across different systems, and essentially becoming a unified interface for all your business needs.
Whoa. Okay, this is getting really interesting. But where does all the information come from? I mean, how do these AI agents know enough to actually do all this stuff?
Well, this is where it gets even more mind-blowing.
Okay.
He hints at a future where your AI agent will have access to a vast organized memory. It's like an infinite memory that learns from all your past actions and preferences.
So basically, our AI agents will know us better than we know ourselves.
Uh-huh.
That's a little creepy, but also kind of cool.
It definitely raises some questions about privacy and control.
Yeah.
But if we can address those concerns, the possibilities are pretty incredible. Imagine an AI agent that can anticipate your needs, proactively suggest solutions, and personalize your entire digital experience.
That's a pretty powerful vision.
Yeah.
But what about the security implications? Who gets to decide what these AI agents can do and what information they can access?
You're hitting on a really important point. Nadella acknowledges that this is a critical area that needs careful consideration. He emphasizes the need for strong trust systems, user permissions, and clear governance frameworks to ensure that these AI interactions are both secure and responsible. It's a delicate balance between empowering users and protecting them from potential harm.
It sounds like this whole AI agent thing could really shake things up, not just for Microsoft, but for the entire tech industry.
Absolutely. And Nadella's insights into Microsoft's strategic partnership with OpenAI are particularly revealing.
Oh, yeah.
He sheds light on the complex dynamics of their collaboration, highlighting the value they both bring to the table.
But didn't he also admit that their relationship is more than a little complicated considering they're competitors, too?
He did. Nadella acknowledges the inevitable tension that arises from their competing interests. It's a delicate balance between collaboration and competition, and it will be fascinating to see how this partnership evolves as the AI landscape continues to shift.
This is some serious next-level stuff. You mentioned that the interview covered a ton of ground, so where do we go from here?
Let's dive into some specific examples of how these AI agents might actually work in practice. Nadella highlighted a few interesting potential use cases that could really change the game for businesses.
All right, let's get into it. This is definitely a deep dive I don't want to miss.
One of the areas Nadella highlighted was the potential impact on those business models we see everywhere today, the ones driven by advertising and traffic.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. If we're all getting answers straight from AI agents whose clicking on ads or browsing through pages of search results.
Exactly. And that could be a real problem for companies like Google and even Microsoft who rely heavily on that search advertising revenue.
So what's the plan? Is Nadella just ignoring that elephant in the room?
He did address it. He talked about how Microsoft is trying to adapt with Bing, their MSN news portal, and of course, Copilot.
Yeah.
He sees them all working together in a new kind of ecosystem.
Okay, so break that down for me. What'd that look like?
Think of it this way. Bing would still handle those straightforward search queries. MSN keeps curating news feeds, but Copilot steps in to provide a much more conversational, agent-like experience for those who want it.
So they're hedging their bets, trying to cover all the bases as this AI world takes shape.
Exactly. And they're already brainstorming new ways to make money from these services, maybe a mix of traffic generation, some paywalls for premium features, and maybe even some good old-fashioned ads sprinkled in.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But stepping back a bit, the whole idea of these AI agents actually doing things for us raises a ton of questions.
Sure.
Like, what about control
Yeah.
and security?
You're hitting on a really important point. Nadella actually used the term computer use to describe this ability of AI agents to take action, booking that flight, making a purchase, whatever it might be.
Right.
And it gets complicated fast.
Because who decides what these agents are allowed to do? And how do we prevent them from doing something harmful accidentally or intentionally?
Those are the million-dollar questions. Nadella stressed that strong trust systems are going to be absolutely crucial. We're talking user permissions, clear governance frameworks, basically making sure these AI agents operate within well-defined boundaries.
It's like we're giving these AI agents the keys to our digital lives. So those boundaries better be strong.
No doubt about it. And striking that balance between giving users power and keeping them safe is going to be one of the biggest challenges as this technology advances.
Speaking of delicate balances, what about this Microsoft OpenAI partnership? Nadella touched on that, right?
He did, and it sounds like it's a bit of a tightrope walk.
Sure.
He talked about the huge value they get from collaborating, but also how the competitive aspect can create tension.
Because they're both vying for dominance in the AI space, even while they're working together.
Right. Nadella admitted there are going to be conflicts, but stressed that it's vital to find constructive ways to work through them. They both have a lot to gain if they can make this partnership work.
It's like they're frenemies, but with the future of AI hanging in the balance. All right, so we've talked about the big picture, but I'm curious about real-world applications. What kind of stuff did Nadella see these AI agents doing for businesses specifically?
He actually gave some great examples of how Microsoft is already using AI agents internally, things like streamlining customer service, automating parts of software development, and even helping with financial forecasting.
So these aren't just pie-in-the-sky ideas.
Yeah.
They're putting this stuff into practice right now.
They are. And Nadella was clear that this is just the tip of the iceberg. He sees massive potential for AI agents to transform how businesses operate across the board. It's about saving time and money, sure, but also improving decision-making, boosting efficiency, and creating entirely new business models.
It's like taking all those tasks that bog us down and handing them off to a super smart assistant. It's pretty appealing.
It is, and Nadella believes that this is only the beginning. He sees AI agents unlocking a whole new level of innovation and productivity for businesses of all sizes. He's even talking about using AI to personalize customer experiences on a level that's just not possible today.
So it's not just about making businesses more efficient, but also about making them more customer-centric.
Exactly. It's about creating those wow moments for customers that build loyalty and drive growth.
This is all incredibly fascinating, but I keep coming back to the ethics of it all. How do we make sure these AI agents are used for good and not for harm?
That's the million-dollar question, and Nadella didn't shy away from it. He was adamant that responsible development and ethical considerations have to be at the forefront of everything we do with AI. We can't just unleash these powerful tools without thinking through the potential consequences.
It's a lot of responsibility, and it sounds like Nadella is taking it seriously. What else did he have to say about that?
Well, he really hammered home the importance of those trust systems, user permissions, and governance frameworks we talked about earlier. We can't just let these AI agents run wild. We need clear boundaries and safeguards in place.
It's like we're building a whole new set of rules for a whole new world. And these rules need to be robust enough to protect everyone, not just the privileged few.
Absolutely. And Nadella sees this as a collective effort. He's calling for industry leaders, governments, and researchers to work together to make sure AI is developed and deployed responsibly. It's a global challenge that requires a global solution.
He even mentioned the potential for misuse. right? I think he brought up military applications as an example. That's a pretty sobering thought.
It is. It's a reminder that AI is a powerful technology that can be used for good or for bad, and it's up to us to make sure that it's used for the benefit of humanity, not for its destruction.
This conversation is really making me think about the long-term implications of all this. It's not just about shiny new gadgets and cool features. It's about the kind of future we want to create.
You're exactly right. And Nadella's call for cooperation on AI safety is a powerful reminder that we all have a role to play in shaping that future. It's not just up to tech companies or governments. We all need to be engaged in this conversation.
This has been an incredible deep dive so far. It feels like we've only scratched the surface, but I'm already seeing AI in a whole new light. Where do we go from here?
Nadella went deep on how Microsoft is shifting its business to meet this AI-powered future head-on. Their capital expenditures have skyrocketed as they build the infrastructure to support this vision.
Let's unpack that. What kind of investments are we talking about here?
Well, Nadella said their capital expenditures have gone from something like $20 billion in 2020 to a projected $70 billion in 2025. That's a massive jump.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
What are they spending it all on?
It's all about building the infrastructure to support this massive AI-powered future. Think data centers, GPUs, and all the software needed to make those resources sing.
So they're not messing around. They're going all in on this AI revolution.
Absolutely. And he explained that it's all necessary to keep up with the incredible demand for AI computing power. This stuff is resource intensive, but Nadella sees it as essential to Microsoft's future.
It's huge undertaking, but it sounds like they're betting that the payoff will be worth it.
That's exactly it. Nadella compared it to the early days of cloud computing when people doubted hyperscalers could actually turn a profit.
Right.
He believes they'll figure it out, especially with the role software is playing in optimizing AI infrastructure.
So it's not just about throwing hardware at the problem.
Nope. It's about making that hardware as efficient as possible. That's where the software expertise comes in. Nadella thinks software will be key to driving up the return on these huge investments.
It sounds like they're applying the lessons they learned building out Azure to this whole new AI world.
He actually made that exact comparison. He said the key difference between the old hosting providers and the new hyperscalers like Microsoft was software, and they're taking the same approach with AI.
Okay, that makes sense. But how does all this spending affect their bottom line?
Well, he did touch on the fact that their capital expenditures might actually outpace revenue in the short term.
Oh, really?
He called it an air pocket, where they'll need to spend big before the money starts rolling in.
So they're playing the long game here.
They are, and Nadella is confident that being a hyperscaler like Microsoft gives them an edge. They've been down this road before with data centers and the cloud. They know how to manage these massive budgets and build these complex systems efficiently.
Experience counts for a lot in this fast-moving tech world.
Yeah.
Did he talk about the financial side of all this?
He did. He explained that the margin profile of a raw GPU is much different when you combine it with other services like Azure Fabric or Foundry.
So they're not just selling the hardware, it's the whole package that makes the difference.
Right. They're bundling hardware, software, and services, which allows them to command higher margins and deliver more value to their customers.
It sounds like they're taking a very strategic approach to this whole AI thing.
It is strategic. Nadella also compared their AI approach to the lean manufacturing principles used by industrial companies. Interesting. He sees AI as a way to apply those same principles to knowledge work.
Interesting analogy. So it's about increasing value and reducing waste, but for the world of information and data.
Exactly. He believes AI can make businesses way more efficient and streamline their operations. For example, he talked about using AI to handle customer service inquiries, which has significantly reduced their costs in that area.
Wow, real-world results already. That's impressive.
It is. And he sees that kind of impact multiplying across different areas of a business. He even talked about how AI could ultimately reduce total personnel costs.
Wait, does that mean robots are taking over?
Not exactly. It's more about AI automating tasks and making the remaining employees even more productive.
Okay.
It's not about replacing people, but making them more efficient and allowing them to focus on higher value work.
So AI as a tool to empower workers, not displace them.
That's the vision. And to support that, Nadella talked about increasing the ratio of GPUs per researcher, giving their teams the powerful tools they need to push the boundaries of AI innovation.
It's like they're equipping their researchers for a whole new kind of exploration. What about the impact on their actual products?
Nadella emphasized that AI is already being woven into many of their existing products, like Office 365 and Dynamics.
Right.
It's not just about building standalone AI products. It's about making their entire suite of offerings smarter and more powerful.
Smart move. that leverages their existing customer base and gives those users a taste of what AI can do.
Right. And they're not stopping there. Nadella talked about AI creating entirely new product categories, things we haven't even imagined yet.
Wow.
He specifically mentioned Copilot, their AI assistant, as a game changer, a whole new kind of user interface.
I can't wait to see what they come up with. So much potential.
There is, but it's not all smooth sailing. Nadella was candid about the challenges of managing that Microsoft OpenAI relationship, their partners and competitors, which creates this delicate balance.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. It's a complicated relationship with a lot at stake for both companies.
He admitted there's tension, but he also stressed the importance of finding ways to work together constructively. They both benefit from a successful partnership, and Nadella is committed to making it work.
It's encouraging to hear that he's taking a long-term view. Any hints about OpenAI's future?
He did touch on the possibility of OpenAI going public. Can you imagine?
That would be huge. One of the biggest tech IPOs ever, probably.
Nadella said they would support OpenAI's decision to go public when the time is right. It would give them access to even more capital, and Microsoft would benefit from a liquidity event.
Win-win, though it sounds like that's still a ways off.
Yeah, he made it clear that the timing is up to OpenAI's board and management. Microsoft is respecting their process.
Well, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. OpenAI is one of the most exciting companies in the world right now.
Absolutely. But Nadella brought it all back around to the bigger picture in the end. He really emphasized the importance of everyone working together to make sure we develop and deploy AI safely.
That's the crucial piece, isn't it?
Oh, God.
All this potential is amazing, but it has to be done responsibly.
He sees it as a global challenge, not just for Microsoft or OpenAI.
Right.
It's about getting industry leaders, governments, researchers, everyone on the same page.
A unified front to make sure AI is used for good. Just a powerful message.
It is. He reminded us that AI isn't just about technology. It's about people and using this incredible power to make the world a better place.
That's a great note to end on. This has been an incredible deep dive. Nadella is clearly a visionary leader who's thinking deeply about the future, and his insights are incredibly valuable.
I agree. I feel like I have a much better understanding of what's coming next and the challenges and opportunities ahead.
All right, so we've covered a ton of ground here. Let's recap the key takeaways for our listeners.
The big one is that AI is absolutely transforming the tech industry. This isn't hype. This is a real fundamental shift that will touch every aspect of our lives.
And Microsoft is betting big on it with those massive investments and their strategic partnership with OpenAI.
Exactly. They're putting their money where their mouth is, and Nadella seems confident they're well-positioned to lead in this new AI-powered world. They have the resources, the talent, and the vision to make it happen.
But crucially, Nadella is also emphasizing the need for responsible development. AI is a powerful tool, and we have a responsibility to make sure it's used ethically and for the benefit of everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
What a fascinating conversation to unpack. I'm already eager to see what the next chapter of this AI story holds.
Me too. It's going to be a wild ride, but I have a feeling we're just getting started.
All right, listeners, we hope you found this deep dive informative and thought-provoking. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more breaking news and deep dives into the world of AI.
See you next time.